Hello, and what a great day to sew something wonderful. I'm Kia with Kia B, and I'm so excited to be back with you today. Today we're going to talk a little bit about 12 by 12, and not like my other video where I went into a really long explanation of what 12 by 12 is, explained how that works, and all of the backstory behind 12 by 12. I'll give you a brief description here at the beginning of the video, but this video is actually going to be what my choices are for team new starts this year for 12 by 12. So just give you a little bit of a backstory. I started 12 by 12 a few years ago. I had limited myself to not have any new starts throughout the year and to have an open window. This is something that I modeled off of Pam and Steph that they were doing with their crockpot crew. And I was like, man, I have so many whips. This is a great idea, but it didn't make sense for me to do it on the weekend they work because I'm not a part of the crockpot crew. So I decided on New Year's Eve, I said this in our explanation video, I am 35 years old with kids. We're not doing anything on New Year's Eve. So I thought, why not, give myself something fun? The kids are usually playing with Christmas presents that they've gotten and they're still entertained with. And so why not do something fun? So from noon Eastern time, because that's what time zone Pam and I live in, from noon Eastern until midnight, you start a new project every hour. And so what that means is that I kind of throughout the year will kit up things that I want to start. And I will kind of hoard those, as you would say, and then I will start them at noon, at 1, at 2, and so on and so forth. Last year, Pam decided to join me, and we've hosted this, and this is our second year hosting together. And I tell you what, it's so much more fun to do with a friend. So just by the amazing world that is Instagram, so many of you are joining us, and I'm so excited. Already I've seen I made a graphic that is where you fill in your 12 by 12 starts and you share it on Instagram using our hashtags. And there have been so many starting to trickle in, which is super fun. You guys will see this video on Friday, Lord willing. And so I thought today I would kind of go through my choices. Now this year we're doing something a little bit differently. We have team new starts, which is me, which is the original way that I designed 12 by 12 because again, I wanted an open window where I could start projects. And so team new starts where you would pick 12 new projects. And then we have Team Whips, which is Pam. She's heading that up this year. She picked 12 whips that she really wants to make some progress on, 12 projects that she would like to touch. And so she picked those. I believe she's already shared her 12 by 12, and I know they've done a fabulous video in their Christmas special all about what they've chosen for 12 by 12. So Pam is Team Whips, and I am Team New Starts. And then Stephanie, when they were here for Thanksgiving, Stephanie said, I think I'm going to do 12 by 12 with you. And I said, oh my gosh, that would be great. And she said, but no one is going to make me choose between my best friend and my mother. So I will be doing 6 and 6. So that has spread like wildfire. So many of you are picking 6 new starts and 6 whips, which is fantastic. I'm so excited. And we didn't originally come up with a hashtag for that, but yesterday, I was bombarded with messages yesterday saying, can we have a hashtag for half and half? So hashtag team half and half was taken on Instagram by a lot of things. And so we did team half x half. And that is because our official hashtag for 12 by 12 is hashtag NYE12X12. And so we did that to kind of correlate those two together. So just really quick, the rundown of official hashtags are hashtag NYE12X12, Team Whips, Team New Starts, which it is very important that you put an S on the end of New Starts. The Team New Start is a whole other realm of pictures that we do not want to include in this hashtag. And then the fourth one is now Team Half X Half. And so we're really excited, kind of rooting for each other's teams, seeing what everybody's starting to plan to work on this weekend. So it's really fun and exciting. So today, after all of that 4 minutes of rambling, I thought I would go through what my choices were for this 12 by 12. I'm really excited to do this. I have been just kind of picking fabric and playing with floss because I started this last year. I really try to use up a lot of my stash. And so while people have gifted me wonderful things, And I've gotten to go on a shopping spree at Keepsakes before due to some just lovely friends of mine. I kitted up some new projects with called for floss and got a couple of Susan's floss conversions, which is always fun. If you've never done a floss conversion from Susan at Keepsakes, she is amazing. And so she's done a couple of those for me. And then I just pulled a lot from Stash. All of my fabric is from Stash. I didn't buy anything new for these projects, all 12 of them. And so it's a great opportunity to use up your stash. So again, enough of my 5 minutes of rambling. Let's get started because I don't want to keep you here for too long. So my first pick, well, and I'll tell you how I set up all of these. So this is just a library card. I started doing these a couple of years ago and I love them. And I just write what the pattern is, who it's by, if there's any special meaning to the pattern. So this first one I'm going to show you is a lovely gift from my friend Holly. And then I write down the fabric and the flosses that are used. If there's substitutions, it might say like Weeks Dye Works Sage equals Classic Colorworks Putty. I don't know if that's really true. I don't think putty is a Classic Colorworks, but you get what I'm saying. So that's what I will be doing. So it is true, Holly gave me this lovely gift. She had gone on retreat and asked if I would want this. And so this is a beautiful Teresa Kogut. Look at that. It's so pretty. Sorry for the glare. And then inside of this is all the floss that you need. And the called for fabric is 40 count vintage country mocha. And so it is super, super fun. One side is this color. And then the other side is like a lamb's wool, like a plain, so it's a printed fabric. So vintage country mocha for my very first pick. Now I don't know what order I'm going to do these in yet. I need to narrow that down. But I've got a couple of days, so I will be doing that very, very soon. So then again, I've got these that will go in each project and tell me when I, film this 6 months down the road, because I worked on it and I don't remember what floss or what fabric it is, then that will be really helpful to me. Okay, this next one is a Prairie Schooler that I've had in my collection for quite a while. It is book number 178 called Bunnies. This is so cute. And I do not have a ton of Easter stitching, a ton of springtime stitching out in our house. So I love this. I think it's adorable. I am not a black fabric person. I do not love the chalkboard look on things, but I think with a little bit of switching up, I'm going to love this. Of course, I'm doing called for floss on this, but I have pulled a 40 count color and cotton called Fieldstone. And it is a gray color. It's beautiful. It's like a gray blue. And I'll just kind of toss my floss on here. It's going to look great. I really think it's going to pull really well. I apologize. It's after 9 o'clock at night and I'm filming this. So it's a little bit dark in my office. I apologize. Okay, so that is my Prairie Schooler that I will be starting. All the floss. And you can see my floss isn't dropped yet, but that's okay. I still have a little bit of time to get that done. Okay, the next one I have is another Teresa Kogut, and it's another bunny one. Tech Guy and I got this right when it first came out this year, and I just loved it so much. And I thought, oh my goodness, like this is such a cute little like anniversary stitch for us, an anniversary sampler, and it's called Love is Key. Can we look at those bunnies, please? Absolutely adorable. So I try to be mindful this year, my 12 by 12. I have not been this mindful in years past, not to have too many big projects. I only have a couple that I'm starting that are quite large because I have so many in my whip pile already. So this is one of the ones that are on the larger scale. I've done a couple of floss conversions just because I wanted some things to stand out in variegation, but mostly they are DMC. And I am going to be doing this on a 46 count needle and flax that I got last year at Stitch Away. And this one is called Thornfield. And it has these beautiful pink undertones. I'm trying to, there we go. This variegation in here is definitely pinks and oranges. It's going to look beautiful with this floss. I kind of did a floss toss earlier and just thought, oh my goodness, this is going to be wonderful. So that is my third choice, my Teresa Kogut. I might put that one. Tekka and I got married at 1:30 in the afternoon, so that might be my 1 o'clock start. I don't know. That's a lot of thought process to put through there. Okay, the next one I have is Lucy Beam Rabbit House. And this one I had on my list actually last year for 12 by 12 and decided to change it up. But I love this so much. It's beautiful. So this is Rabbit House by Lucy Beam. I have all the called for floss thanks to some lovely friends who sent me on a shopping spree. And if you don't mind the crinkling for just 1 second, it's that wrapping that we all do not love. I have grabbed this one. Where's this one? My fabric got messed up. Here we go. This one. This one is a silk weaver, and this is a 40 count and purely primitive, and it pulls green. I might change this at the last second. I need to get some stitches put into it and see if I really like this color for this project. But here we go again. So there's that. Again, I'm so sorry for the lighting. It really is not optimal. Okay. How many times can I say My high school English teacher would be very disappointed. All right. This next one is a Kathy Barrick. And I have a couple of Kathy Barricks in this year's new starts. I did last year too. There's nothing that Kathy Barrick does that I'm just like, oh, I would never stitch that. There are at least elements of everything she puts out that I would stitch. And so it's just wonderful. This one I picked up at StitchCon this year. It is called the Embroidered Stocking. And I saw this model in person at StitchCon. It is beautiful. I know several people picked this up and I really wanted to start this in my 12 by 12. So I just think it's gorgeous. Susan did a floss conversion for me and it is called for silk. Called for is silk. She does a DMC conversion. So I'm basically doing 310 for all of this black, but Susan did a floss conversion for me for silken colors. Look at this beautiful color palette. I mean to tell ya, it's just gorgeous. It really is. And this is going on a Be Stitch Me called Not Another Sampler, and it's on 46 count. And you can see it pulls that orange tinge, and I just think up against this with this heavily overdyed fabric, I'm going to love it. I just know I am. So I'm very, very excited to get this one started. You know, I tend to pick my 11 p.m. start because it's your last one. I tend to pick one that I know I'm going to want to stitch on for a few days. This might have to be that one. I'm in the middle of a pretty intense model stitch right now, so we'll see. Maybe I don't pick it so that I'm not tempted to stitch on that and not the model that needs done, but we'll see. All right, the next one is a Blackbird that is just beautiful. This is Humming of the Bees. This came out this year and it's gorgeous. I've seen a couple of people start to stitch this, and that house, you guys know I'm a house person. I just love to stitch them, and that brick is just phenomenal. So I did a floss conversion. Oh no. That's a lie from the devil. I pulled floss when I was at Keepsakes. This was on my shopping spree. There were a couple that they didn't have, so we did a floss conversion for them, but so gorgeous. I cannot wait to start that. I am putting that on 46 count Under the Sea fabrics called Properly Primitive, and it definitely pulls green, and it's just beautiful. It's just beautiful. All right, I'm so sorry for the crinkling. Hopefully that's not too loud. Okay, here's another Kathy Barrick. This one is just called Needlework by Kathy Barrick. I believe I picked this up either at StitchCon or Stitch Away this year. And these patterns fit so tightly in these bags. I did my own floss conversion. It calls for, again, silks. It's just 4 colors. I thought this was so beautiful. And the floss that is in this spool, I really want to stand out and be heavily variegated. So I'm still looking for that, but I am a bottom left-hand starter. So I'll start here in the corner. I won't need that for a while. So next time I'm at Keepsakes or at Always in Stitches, I can find a floss that will really pop that really well. So I am putting this on a 46 count Bronze Age from Be Stitch Me. So this is just a piece of scrap. Nothing I have is cut down yet. Again, still have a couple of days to get floss dropped and fabric cut and serged. I'm telling you, my mother bought me a fabric serger. 2016, 2017 for Christmas. And I thought, I don't sew garments, I quilt. Like, what am I gonna do with a fabric serger? It's a really nice one, it's a brother. I thought I'm never gonna use this. Like, I don't know what I'm gonna do with it. And it sat in the box forever, like literally forever. And then one day I was like, oh, I can serge my fabrics. And now I use it all the time. So it's wonderful. Okay, this next piece of fabric, I'm actually gonna put 2 projects on because I really love this fabric, and both of these lend well to this color palette. So this is called Olympia. It's a 46 count from Mystic Fibers. And I don't know if you can see, yeah, right there. It's got some like splotchy gray that I just love, and some brown there, some neutral. Just a very good neutral. So 2 things I'm gonna put on it. One is this Teresa Kogut. I'll show you over here so I don't show you the chart. I think this is beautiful. I love the colorway. I love this frame that she has it in. I think it's gorgeous. So I'm gonna put that in. This is in the book that came out this last year called Gather. So I'm gonna do that one. And I'm just doing called for DMCs. I don't even think that she calls for any variegated in this book. Any overdyed? Sorry, overdyed? No, she does not call for any overdyed in this book. So all DMC, which is great. And then the second one I'm gonna put on that fabric is from Not Forgotten Farm. And this one is called Ever Humble. I love the Quaker design of this, that house, be it ever so humble, home sweet home. I love this. Our home, if I haven't said this already, our home is very important to us to feel inviting and welcoming. And when we have guests, that they just feel like it's a retreat. And so I just love that sentiment on there. So I'm very excited to stitch it. Another one from Not Forgotten Farm that I'm stitching is called Kind Words. Now this is a very, very small stitch. I wish I could say I could get this done in an hour, but I know I won't. Beautiful though. And I found this fabric that's a little bit dark called Coconut Shell. It's a 46 count from Be Stitch Me. Look how pretty that is. And I think I'm gonna pull both. I'm gonna pull a dark and a light floss and see, overdyed floss, and see what I can find in there. See if I like it. So that is the only one I don't have floss pulled for yet because it's one color and I just need to decide, am I going with a light floss or a dark floss? Am I going with an overdyed or a DMC or anchor? I have a dream that I will purchase all of the Sulky Petites collection. I'm a very tight stitcher, very tight stitcher. In fact, there are lots of people who don't love my stitching because I do pull so tight, but I love it. I think it's gorgeous. And that's what really matters, right? It hangs in my home. I gift it to people, all the things. And the Sulky helps. I just think the Sulky is gorgeous. And the chunkiness of that 12 weight floss, I really, really enjoy. So I have a dream that one day I will own all the Sulky threads. But I don't yet. So All right, this next one is from Hands Across the Sea. I downloaded the PDF from Hobby House, and I saw this a couple of weeks ago. Someone was talking about, maybe Kim, the Contented Stitcher. Someone was talking about this in their floss tube, and I immediately went to Hobby House and purchased the PDF. This is Alice Williams, 1881. It says, idleness is the thief of time. I mean, that sentiment could not ring more true in my life right now. So, and I love, it calls for so much floss, you guys. I looked at the floss list earlier and I thought, why are there so many of them? And I'll tell you, it's because each letter is a different color. And I love that look. So what I did, instead of purchasing all the called for colors, I pulled some of just my favorite colors from all the brands, pulled them, and just decided that's what I'm going to go with. I'm just going to pick whatever my heart wants at that moment. So I've got some lights, some darks, some reds, greens, blues, a little bit of everything. And it's going to go on this piece of scroll from Be Stitch Me. 46 count, of course. And it's going to be lovely. And I can't wait to have it ready to go. Do you ever like have stitches? I feel like I'm with this with all of my stitches, where it's like, I want it done yesterday. Like I want it hanging in my house before I even start it. I need to be better about time management, don't I? Idleness is the thief of time. I'm telling you. Okay, is this my last one already? I think it is. Okay, number 12 is A Wish from You, A Wish for You, and it's Anniversaries of the Heart, pattern number 3 for Blackbird. I think this is beautiful. I think I might change this sentiment on here, but I just think it's beautiful. And I have another bunny. What is with me? So I did do a full floss conversion for this. Just was, again, things for my stash. My house colors, this one is called for, let me see what it's called for here. Used Brick and Peanut Brittle. So both of those are classic colorworks. Used Brick and Peanut Brittle. I am going to do a Color and Cotton Chestnut and a Classic Colorworks Colonial Rose. And those are going to be my house colors. So I am putting this on a 40 count Color and Cotton that is just beautiful. So I'm very excited to start that as well. I don't think there's any that I'm like, I don't think there's any that I'm on the fence about. So those are my new starts that I am planning in just a couple of days. We just have the weekend and I'm very excited. Tech Guy took the day off. He is not stitching that day. We talked about it a little bit here and there, but he just ultimately decided work has been so crazy lately and the holiday season is just, it's a lot for him. And we've just, we've had a lot on our plates. And so he just decided he's going to take the day and play with the kids, and just hang out. Our kids are getting older now and they're preteens and teenagers. And so, he's just going to take the day and play with them. And I think they're going to play video games. He's in charge of food for the day. So we just discussed that this evening. He's got to get on it. We're in charge of food. He is in charge of food, not we. So, okay. If you have any questions at all, please do not hesitate to leave a comment down below. You can message me on Instagram. My account is set to private. I've gotten a couple of messages about this and I know Pam has too. My account is set to private. And that's honestly because there's weirdos out there. I think we've all experienced that. We all understand that and know that. But I assure you, I am going through friend requests multiple times a day to make sure that when we hop on live, that my friend requests are up to date and you guys can join us. Pam and I will be live on Instagram at 12, 4, 8, and 11:30, I believe. I think it's 4 times, 12, 4, 8, and 11:30. And so I will do, right before we go live, I will do a queen sweep of my friend requests just to make sure. And here's what I'm looking for is that you have stitching, that you're related to stitching, crafting, quilting, something of that nature. I have had to decline friend request recently because there's either no post made and they only have 2 or 3 friends, which is fine, but like make your profile picture maybe something stitching related so that I do know that you are a cross stitcher, or a quilter or multi-crafter, whatever the case may be. And so I know that we've had a couple of questions about that, because the lives will be on my channel and Pam will ask to join, which will be great. But rest assured, I will go through those friend requests and approve them as soon as right before we go live. And I am doing it multiple times a day this week just to make sure we're up to date. Okay, so if you have any questions, don't hesitate to leave them in the comment section down below and I will get those answered. And then if you have any questions and maybe they don't get answered on YouTube, just try to shoot me a message over on Instagram and I'll see it there as well. So I'm very much looking forward to it. I'm very excited about my projects that I have going, not excited about where my whip pile is ticking up toward, but I think I say that every year. So, all right, very excited. Cannot wait to hang out with you and ring in the new year. Thanks for joining us on the Hive today. You guys have a great week.